following is a presentation of the Michigan Sports Network. Are you ready for huge opinions on the Lions, Tigers, Wings, Pistons, Michigan, MSU, and every sports team in the state of Michigan? It's time for The Huge Show. From the east side to the west side to the UP, The Huge Show is on air statewide on the Michigan Sports Network. Voice your huge opinions now at 1-866-838-HUGE. That's 1-866-838-4843.
You ready?
Now, let's go to the Auto Value Bumper to Bumper Parts Studio with the huge one, Bill Simonson.
What's up, Michigan? It is hour number 2 on a football Friday that also is featuring a lot of golf conversation with the Ryder Cup. Day 1 action, U.S. in the morning, 3 out of the 4 points. Afternoon play going on. Bill Hobson, one of our PGA and LPGA Tour insiders, will join us in about 20 minutes from Michigan Golf Live. Logan Lamourand here on the Lions and the Ravens. He will join us momentarily. My huge predictions on Michigan Rutgers, Michigan State, Nebraska, Baltimore, Detroit. Tom Rosenbach, managing partner at Bean Carter, one of America's top accounting and business firms. He will take my college picks. My pro picks are made in the Beat Huge contest that you can play every week until Sunday at noon at thehugeshow.net. That $1,000 in cash from Bean Carter could be yours. Thursday night game is always a freebie. Play every week through the big game in February until noon on Sunday. Tom at the end of the hour. And then 5 until 6 p.m. during the NFL regular season, it's the DraftKings Sportsbook app NFL Power Hour. Former Steeler running back Merrill Hodge will break down Lions, Ravens, Niners, Packers, Bears, Browns. Lee Sterling, DraftKings Mr. Big Picks guru. He'll make his selections. Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com. On Detroit, welcoming Baltimore and Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh. I assume Jim and the family will be at the game, so all that coming up here in less than 60 minutes on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, NFL Power Hour. Update on the Ryder Cup matches. They're through 6. Dustin Johnson and Xander Schauffele are 1 up on Bern Weisberger and Paul Casey. Through 8, Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau are 1 up on John Rahm and Tyrell Hatton. Through 7 holes, Harris English and Tony Finau are tied with Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry. This match now is through 6, and a surprise here, and Justin Thomas needs to pick it up with Patrick Cantlay. And again, Cantlay and Schauffele were dominant earlier today in their morning win on the alternate shot. Right now, they're 2 down. Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland are 2 up through 6. We'll keep you up to date on the Ryder Cup leaderboard here in Wisconsin. I will be there all day tomorrow as a fan. And Sunday, I'll be there based on what happens later this afternoon and on Saturday. So a lot of golf conversation, a lot of football conversation. You can join in 1-866-838-4843. That's 1-866-838-HUGE. At Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook. Also opt in on the Huge text chain where you can text the show anytime you want to. Text the word HUGE to 21,000. That is the word HUGE to 21000. Let's welcome in Logan Lamourand here. He is a Lions NFL insider, SportsIllustrated.com. He's standing by on the Meyer guest line. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the Ryder Cup. Looking forward to college football Saturday, but I'm really looking at this Lions game. It's a gauge game for me with the coaches. It's a gauge game for the rest of the season on where they're going. That, can they put 4 quarters of football together? That's what's been missing from week 1. You had a quarter and a half. Week 2, an unbelievable first half, Logan. So what are you expecting in Week 3 against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on Sunday?
So, yeah, going against Lamar Jackson, it's not going to be easy to stop. Still trying to figure out ways how the Lions defense are going to be able to contain him. And it's just going to be really tough. And we'll see how the new linebackers with Jamie Collins being out and on the trade block, hopefully that gives more time for Derek Barnes, but maybe even a little bit more of Jalen Reeves-Maven. But they're going to be put in a really tough spot because you have to play very sound football against the Ravens offense. And it's just that defense is going to have to make some plays, and the offense is going to need to control the clock. And that's what it's ultimately going to come down to most weeks for the Lions, is if they can control the clock to their run game, that's what they're going to have to do. And they needed to be able to do that all 4 quarters. And for the most part, the defense just hasn't allowed the offense to remain balanced due to the score differential.
So when I know Coach Campbell brought up the offense. I looked at the defense more in the third quarter, even though Rodgers made 2 unbelievable third long throws that really were backbreakers, if I can use that sports cliche, for the Lions. And this Collins thing, which we could see in the first, game, even early in that second game, that Collins he has no speed to the ball. He looks unsure of himself, maybe even Flowers to a point at times. But the Collins issue, and then they quickly flip and say, hey, Barnes is going to get more playing time. I agree with Maben and the athletes. And my question is, Logan, and this is where now with the coaches and how he spoke so highly of Anzalone, and he's around the ball, but I'm like, okay, are you going to make plays on the ball? I'm not doubting Campbell, but I'm wondering if we all can watch the first 2 games and see guys who don't have the speed to compete, which we witnessed a lot in preseason, but that's preseason. We'll go to the NFL regular season as coaches. Why does it take you this long to understand you need more speed at linebacker?
Right, and I think, Anzalone, he's a pretty decent athlete. In college and in the combine, he tested well. His injuries were always kind of an injury for him, but I think he's athletic enough, and it's just that instinct might not be there. And even when he was with the Saints, he was more of a career backup and got some spot starts, but just was never great. So I think Campbell even said it, the effort's there for Anzalone, and it just might be that more innate ability to just know to flow to the ball and make plays just really isn't there. And that's what we saw from Barnes in the preseason and even limited snaps in week 1, where I thought he just looks like he's instinctive, and it's just on another level, which is surprising for Barnes, considering he was a defensive end or, more of an edge rusher throughout all of his career outside of basically his senior year. So it's Jamie Collins. That's a weird situation because, he's a good athlete. He is getting up there in age. So with how big he is, sometimes it looks like he's moving slow, but he's actually going a lot faster than he is. But it did kind of seem like he had lost a step or just wasn't just always in the wrong spot, especially in coverage. So I think they want to have faster guys at linebackers. Just in a rebuild, which is what this is, it's really tough to bring in all the guys you want and just have this huge turnover in the roster in 1 year.
Beyond focusing on the Collins and the linebacker issue, which has been a hot topic since the second half collapse against the Packers on Monday night, what other things do you see from the first 2 games that you like, and other things on that defense that are a concern just as much or maybe even more than linebacker play?
So, the bright spot is definitely the offensive line right now, even without Taylor Decker. I've just been very pleasantly surprised with how good they are, even without Decker, because you knew that was going to be the strength of the team, and you knew that's what the Lions were going to have to rely on, and they've played really well. And the running backs they actually have huge holes to run through, which just seems like that never has happened in Detroit or hasn't happened in a long time. And that's what I've been most confident about, because Jared Goff he plays well when he's well protected and has a run game, and the Lions have been able to provide that for him. And the receivers haven't done a whole lot of help for him, but he's made up for it with passing to T.J. Hockenson and the running backs. And on the defensive side of the ball, the linebackers, that's an area of concern. But the corners right now is probably the Lions' weakest position just due to injuries, and the Lions decided to keep younger players over some some veterans and maybe guys who are more proven, but they want to see what these younger players have. And now it's they're going to be, given the test to see what they have. And that's just, it's going to be a struggle, and there's going to be some learning curve that goes into this. So the corner spot, they're in a rough situation there right now.
On the huge hope meter, when it comes to the Lions, scale of 1 to 10, how much hope do you have that they'll beat the Ravens on Sunday in Detroit?
Well, I could say I have a lot of hope, but I'm having a very difficult time wrapping my head around how the Lions will find a way to win. Although I don't know if you saw that a majority of the Ravens defensive line just got put on the COVID list, which includes Brandon Williams, Justin Madubuike, Justin Houston, and Jalen Ferguson. So they're going to be without a lot of pieces on that D line, which really changes and favors the Lions because that's the offensive line is the strength of the team. Well, the Ravens defensive line is now pretty depleted. So if the Lions can control that clock and keep Lamar Jackson off the field, maybe they have a chance. But I really don't see a win happening. It would surprise me quite a bit, but I can always hope for it.
So on the hope meter, that number probably falls into a 5. Hope.
Yeah.
I hope
sounds fair.
They have a win. Well, with that line and the COVID issues, and they had 15 guys in IR before the COVID issues, and Lamar Jackson with the hip flip injury. If he is banged up and can't run, because my first thought was this dude could, if they need the W, which they do, he could run for 180 yards against the Lions edge rushers and the edge just with his speed. But if he is banged up and they're losing those defensive linemen along with everyone else on the IR for the Ravens, maybe this is a game that smells like a blowout based on the Ravens beating the Chiefs and how the Lions looked on national TV in that second half. Maybe the Lions surprise us. Who knows?
You never know. It is the NFL. From week to week, you never know what you're going to get. And you mentioned it. The Ravens, they're hurting right now bad, and the Lions should and hopefully can take advantage.
I hope people who have listened to us, Logan, from just before kickoff of Game 1 against the Niners through going into Game 2 against Green Bay to now Game 3, that the tone of our voice has the sound of, man, I hope this team now can just win a game.
Yeah, that's I was kind of those are my expectations going into the year. I don't want to say anything, but yeah, the expectations are low. I've been enjoying the game still, even though they haven't particularly been close in certain parts of the game. It's still fun, and I still really like the coaching staff. They haven't made any blunders. I like the direction of this team is going so far with not only the coaches, but the general manager and just all the executives, all that. I think it's going in the right spot, but there's going to be some patience involved.
They've given us the finish against the Niners in that last quarter and a half, basically, maybe the last quarter. They gave us that first half where they looked as good as any NFL team. I mean, on the road at Lambeau and the throw to Hawk, and I'm like, this is the team we want. They just can't put 4 quarters together. Baltimore banged up, and like you now mentioned, their defensive line out with the COVID list. So we'll see. Logan, always appreciate your time here on the Huge Show across Michigan.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Have a great weekend. Talk soon.
All right, Logan Limerand, dear Lions NFL insider at SI.com, joining us on the Meijer guest line. Meijer, proud to be a longtime partner with your Detroit Lions, and Meijer partners with youth leagues, youth teams, high schools, colleges, minor league teams, and pro teams all across Michigan. So when you're shopping at your local Meijer, you are shopping for your local community. We're here in Wisconsin. Ryder Cup 2020 being played in 2021. Afternoon session continues. U.S. fantastic this morning, grabbing 3 of the 4 available points. Right now in the afternoon matches, Dustin Johnson and Xander Schauffele are 2 up through 10 now. They just went and won 10. They're 2 up through 10 against Bern Weisberger and Paul Casey. On the flip side, John Rahm and Tyrell Hatton 1-8 They pushed on 9, so Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau are tied with Rahm and Hatton in the afternoon session. Harris English and Tony Finau won 8. So they just went one up. They've won 2 of the last 3 holes against Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry and Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay are 2 down. Won the first hole. They've lost 3 of the last 5 against Tommy Fleetwood, who looks like a miniature Aaron Rodgers when he had his Packers ski cap on the other day. And Victor Hovland, one of the best kept secrets on the PGA Tour. I love his game. Hovland and Fleetwood are 2 up on Thomas and Cantlay. That now is through 7. We'll keep you up to date on the afternoon sessions at Whistling Straits. We're here in Wisconsin with the huge road show. Superfly Hayes is back at the Auto Value Bumper to Bumper Parts Stores studios. My predictions on Michigan State, Nebraska, Michigan Rutgers, and the Lions Ravens with Tom Rosenbach, managing partner at Bean Garter, before the end of the hour. And at the top of the hour, the DraftKings Sportsbook NFL Power Hour will take place. Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com will join us. Merrill Hodge, every Friday, 5:25, breaks down the Lions game, Lions and the Ravens. Also NFC North matchups. We'll look at Packers, Niners, and Browns, Bears. That will be with former Steeler running back Merrill Hodge. And then at 5:45, DraftKings Big Picks insider Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports will make his picks. Ravens, Lions against the spread, Niners, Packers, and Bears, Browns, where Fields is going to get the start for Chicago. If you want to join in, 1-866-838-4843. That's 1-866-838-HUGE. At Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook. You can also opt in on the Huge text chain. Text the word HUGE to 21,000. That is the word HUGE to 21000. We'll have another Ryder Cup afternoon session update. And Bill Hobson, like I said, one of our PGA and LPGA Tour insiders. We'll talk Ryder Cup next.
From St. Joseph to Midland, this show is huge.
I'm Jennifer Joseph. I'm an emergency medicine physician. So COVID has changed the way we do things in the emergency department. It's made us incredibly busy. We've been busy for 18 months, and we're battling not only a deadly virus, but we're also battling to protect ourselves and our communities by being vaccinated. I'm frustrated by the fact that this has become a partisan issue. As a conservative, I know that being vaccinated is the right thing and should not be politically driven. It's a personal decision, as with any medical decision. Questions are important. You should ask your doctor any question that you have and then make an informed decision as to what's best. The vaccine is safe. My children are vaccinated. I would not have vaccinated them if I did not feel it was safe. It's your decision. Make the right decision. Get vaccinated for yourself and your own safety.
Learn more at myvaxdecision.com. Sponsored by Small Business Association of Michigan.
This show is huge.
Hi, everyone. Former NFL running back Merrill Hodge here. Make sure you join me every Friday at 5:25 p.m. on the DraftKings NFL Power Hour with Huge on the Michigan Sports Network. We'll break down the upcoming Lions game and the biggest games of the weekend in the NFL. The DraftKings NFL Power Hour kicks off every Friday at 5 p.m. right here on the Huge Show across Michigan.
This is the Michigan Sports Network.
It's a new day to celebrate and be free. A new day full of action and excitement. Come to Soaring Eagle. Indulge to your heart's content. It's a day for winning, for world-class fun and food. Yes, it's a grand, spectacular day to get away. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. It's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Huge here for your local Meijer. Now everybody knows Meijer is connected to local teams, college teams, high schools, pros, and more throughout the state of Michigan. So what it means is when you're shopping at your local Meijer, you're basically shopping for your local community. And Meijer is proud to partner with Little Leagues, youth sports, high school sports, college sports, and pro sports throughout the state of Michigan. Remember, when you shop Meijer, you're shopping for your local community.
Auto Value is a local Michigan-based company. You can find us all over this great state of Michigan. From Monroe to Marquette, we have you covered. When you shop at your local Auto Value auto parts store, you'll always be assured of quality, service, and a huge selection of name brand auto parts and accessories. Find out more and shop online at myautovaluestore.com. Thank you for shopping at Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
Huge here for the world-renowned Van Andel Institute in downtown Grand Rapids. Now they're known for their Parkinson's and cancer research. If you'd like to be a part of their Purple community and help raise awareness and money, go to purplecommunity.org.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
The Huge Show is back live across Michigan. We're the only syndicated statewide afternoon sports radio show heard on 20 incredible radio stations, including our new flagship station in Grand Rapids, where we're just wrapping up our first month on air with 96.1 The Game in GR, which you can also hear in Kalamazoo and in the Muskegon area. And in Detroit, we have 3 different ways to listen. And we're also wrapping up our first month with The Roar, Motor City Sports Talk, 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and also 94.7 FM HD Channel 2. If you are in the Detroit area, for the station close to you, all across Michigan, from the UP down to 96.5 The Cave in Adrian, go to thehugeshow.net. We're here in Wisconsin. It's day one of the 2020 Ryder Cup, being played in September 2021 because of the pandemic. 3 out of 4 points this morning. Very impressive start by the Americans. It's kind of a dogfight this afternoon. Looking at the scoreboard, Dustin Johnson and Xander Schauffele have gone 2 up through 10 over Bernd Weisberger and Paul Casey. John Rahm and Tyrell Hatton are tied with Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau. Interesting pairing there. Also interesting that Schauffele split up from Patrick Cantlay after they just went to work this morning. But Cantlay and Justin Thomas are getting roughed up. They're down 2 through 7 against Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland. Harris English and Tony Finau quietly off the radar. Not a lot of headline makers when it comes to this Ryder Cup week. They're both making their debuts this afternoon. They're 2 up on Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry, so that kind of offsets what Thomas and Cantlay aren't doing. 2 down to Fleetwood and Victor Hovland. Bill Hobson from Michigan Golf Live radio version heard Saturday mornings on most of these huge radio network stations. TV version on Bally Sports Detroit. Check your local listings. He's one of our PGA and LPGA Tour insiders. And Bill, what an interesting day one that isn't complete yet here in Wisconsin.
Absolutely. And the start this morning was, as expected, electric. And for whatever reason, I finally got a prediction right. I thought that Justin and Jordan would go out and have some trouble with Rahm and Sergio, and they did. And they were the only American pairing to lose this morning in a very impressive showing by Cantlay and Schauffele. So you come back out in the afternoon, and what I want people to understand is that historically, for whatever reason, I can't really figure out what it is, Friday afternoon has been a huge European domination over the last dozen Ryder Cups. I think the point differential for the Euros on Friday afternoon is like plus 22 or something crazy like that. And so as we sit here talking right now and seeing what's going on in this afternoon floorball, there are 3 red flags and 1 blue flag. It's kind of one of those situations where if the Euros don't at least have these matches in the afternoon, they are really, really, really in trouble. And the one match that the Euros do lead in has Justin Thomas on the American side, and JT, unfortunately, is not having a very good day. So Fleetwood and Victor Hovland, who is playing like he's been in 15 Ryder Cups, just on fire and as composed as can be. Those two are doing the job. But the Americans are really, really solid in the first three matches this afternoon. So 3 red flags now to 1 blue flag, and it's threatening to become a rout here on Friday.
Yeah, by the way, an update on 11, Xander Schauffele and Dustin Johnson just won that hole. They're now up 3 on Bernd Weisberger and Paul Casey. So, Xander Schauffele, a guy, again, not a lot of headlines, but here he is on what looks like will be 2 dominating performances on day 1 of the Ryder Cup, Billy.
Yeah, in the afternoon story, the buzz, I guess, in the crowd is what DeChambeau did back on the 5th hole, where this 581-yard par 5 that's essentially almost a 90-degree dogleg wrapping around a whole bunch of junk. DeChambeau hits a drive 417, cuts off every bit of the corner, and leaves himself with 72 yards into a par 5. Now, all of the golfers in your audience, I just want you to marinate on that for a moment. It's ridiculous. And NBC, for whatever reason, never showed it to us, so I had to go online to watch it on Sky Sports because they're showing too many commercials, so whatever. Obviously, he blistered it. It was obviously downwind, but all you have to know is nobody else in the field even tried anything remotely close to that, and he pulled it off. And that match has them, Scheffler and DeChambeau, 1 up. But that will be a swing that's talked about for a long time. You don't see that in competition.
And what was it, like a 415 drive? Was that it?
Yes, 417 drive. He hit his
417 drive for DeChambeau.
Yeah, he hit a 72-yard wedge shot to about 2 feet and tapped in the eagle. And literally provided the definition of what it means to overpower a golf course in that moment.
By the way, update on the Justin Thomas-Patrick Cantlay match against Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland. Hovland and Fleetwood just won 8, so they're getting to 9, haven't even made the turn yet, and Thomas and Cantlay are getting smoked.
Yeah, JT may not, because Cantlay this morning was as good as anybody in his match and his win with Xander in the alternate shot. JT may not make an appearance again until Sunday morning, and we'll see what Captain Stricker has in store. But you don't want to go, if you go to the turn 3 down, you're really going to be just scraping to get a half a point out of the match, and that's only if you get red hot. Well, part of the problem with that is now the wind is really kicking up at Whistling, and it's going to be tough to make up that much ground over the course of 9 holes. So, yeah, it looks like the Americans are going to be in trouble in that final match this afternoon. But so far, looking solid in the other 3.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you go pick up 3 points in the afternoon after 3 points in the morning, and you're up 6-2 going into Saturday with the single Sunday. That's a pretty good position. We'll see how it plays out. A lot of matches, at least all 3 right now. Nothing is certain. The only one that doesn't look good, well, there would be 2 of them. I would say that Thomas and Cantlay down 3 on 9, and the flip side is Johnson and Schauffele up 3 through 11 on Weisberger and Casey. Bill Hobson, LPGA insider here on the Huge Show across Michigan. Look for Michigan Golf Live, the radio version on Saturday mornings during the golf season, and a spectacular job done on TV, Michigan Golf Live, the TV version. Just check Bally Sports Detroit. Bill, we'll talk Monday, and we'll discuss who won the Ryder Cup here at Whistling Straits.
Have fun out there, Billy. Don't get in trouble.
I won't, buddy. Saturday, I'm not working, so that could be a day that lives in infamy.
Hey, now, here's my insider tip for you. I just talked to a buddy of mine who was on the grounds there, and this morning it took him an hour and a half to go the final mile in traffic. So plan your trip accordingly, my friend. You may not get there till noon if you don't.
Are they doing I wanted to ask you this. Are they doing shuttles for the fans in? He said his last mile took him an hour and a half?
Yeah, it all depends on what kind of ticket you have and what kind of access you have. But yes, there's a little bit of everything. But it appears to have caught the PGA of America by surprise that they're hosting a big-time event with 40,000 fans coming because the players had to have police escorts to get in today. The traffic was overwhelming, and apparently that's probably on the docket again for tomorrow. So I remember that happening to us at Hazeltine. It's just, these are venues that aren't designed for that many people all at once. And that's what they're getting. So just you either got to set that alarm clock a couple hours earlier or find a helicopter maybe like Michael Jordan took in.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, when we were driving through Chicago because it was windy and we couldn't take the boat, we actually stopped by MJ's house, got a 9 in with him this morning. He said we could use his chopper if we need it. So we're good. We're good on that, Bill. Hey, I guess the PGA can't think. Well, no, the PGA can't think to have high school parking lots or destinations where there's buses that shuttle people in and out, and they park at these high schools in the surrounding area or small colleges so you don't have traffic backups out in the middle of nowhere at Whistling Straits.
Yeah, it's a tough one because the actual journey to Whistling Straits, it's such a remote location. I'll do a little comparison for anybody in your audience who's been to Arcadia Bluffs. You could very well park people at high schools in Traverse City, but it's still a long ways to get over to the destination, and it's still, in the end, is a 2-lane road to get in there. That's the argument against the venue versus one, at a major championship or in a major city. But at the same time, the charm of the destination is part of the remoteness is part of the charm. So I hope that by the time you soak it all in tomorrow, you also find the charm while you're sitting behind the wheel for an extra hour.
Thank you, Bill Hobson. He's known as Mr. Positive when it comes to major golf events. We love you, Billy. We'll talk Monday and look back at the winter, okay?
Have fun, man. There's nothing like being at the Ryder Cup. It's awesome.
No, there isn't, man. We were there at K Club in Dublin. It was still one of the great weeks of my life with my ex-wife and kids. So if there are highlights from that marriage, that would be one of them. Thank you, Billy.
And you spent time with me, Billy. I mean, come on, don't leave that off the chart.
Like I said, I had positive moments there on that trip.
All right, man. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, we love you. Wow, hour and a half, 2 hours to go the last mile before Whistling Straits. That's what they're telling people. Man, that's crazy. I'll be there tomorrow. Updating that afternoon leaderboard. Johnson and Schauffele through 11, 3 up. Scheffler and DeChambeau 1 up through 10. Harris English and Tony Finau 2 up on McIlroy and Lowry through 9 and through 8. They're on 9. Thomas and Cantlay trail Fleetwood and Victor Hovland. Man, think about it. If Cantlay and Thomas are getting the job done, there could be a sweep this afternoon by the U.S. They take a split, but, man, 3-1 again, they'll be sitting pretty. To put it away. They really will, with Saturday and Sunday still in front of them. To all the callers online, stick around. Michigan will hear you next.
Everything huge 24/7 at thehugeshow.net.
Become a weekend warrior at BetMGM. King of the Weekend is a free-to-play challenge where you can win up to $50,000 for correctly picking the highest-scoring pro football teams during the weekend. Simply log into your account and find the King of the Weekend contest in your promotion section. Then, pick the 6 teams you think will score the most points for the selected games. $1,000 will go to the top entry each week. And if you guess all 6 in the right order, the grand prize of $50,000 could be yours. Plus, hundreds of dollars in free bets will be awarded to players who come close to a perfect score. Go to your account and try the King of the Weekend free-to-play game. New to BetMGM? No problem. Download the app today and make weekend football even better. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
There is nothing on earth more amazing than the human brain. No computer can match its intellect. No work of art can rival its beauty. And there is nothing on earth more personal than your brain. It's It defines who you are. It determines how you love and what others love in you. Your brain is unlike anything we have ever known or will ever see. And in a moment, all of that can change forever. Traumatic brain injury, TBI, can happen anywhere, at any time, to anyone. TBI can define who you are. TBI can determine how you will love. There is nothing on earth more amazing than the human brain. And for victims and families of TBI, there is nowhere on earth like the Eisenhower Center in Ann Arbor.
The Eisenhower Center, leading the way in traumatic brain injury rehabilitation. Learn more at eisenhowercenter.com.
Why drive to the casino when you can enjoy the excitement of Vegas-style games and jackpots right from your phone? Download the TwinSpires Casino app now and you'll unlock 24 hours of risk-free casino play up to $500 plus 250 free spins. Just register using the promo code FREEDAY. TwinSpires Casino. Launch your 24-hour getaway today. Void where prohibited. For terms and conditions, visit TwinSpires.com. Must be 21 years of age and older and present in Michigan to bet. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
My name is Austin Brown, and I'm a pharmacist and small business owner. Getting vaccinated is an individual decision, and it's an important one, but it's one you don't have to make by yourself. There are pharmacists and doctors in your communities that want to help you and answer your questions. I'd say the most common concerns are, is it safe? How is this going to affect my body? How is this going to affect the rest of my health moving forward? And those are legitimate questions that definitely need to get answered. When people have their questions answered, it opens up a lot of doors in terms of what you're going to expect from your vaccine, how you're going to feel. And a lot of people that come through our doors, when they ask us questions, they leave here feeling more comfortable and confident about the decision that they're going to make. And that's one of the most satisfying parts of our job. It's your decision. It's safe. It's time.
Learn more at myvaxdecision.com. Sponsored by Small Business Association of Michigan.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
The Huge Show is back live across Michigan. Friday broadcast originating from Wisconsin. Ryder Cup action continues. At Whistling Straits, we'll have a Ryder Cup leaderboard here in a few moments. Superfly Hayes is back at the Auto Value Bumper to Bumper Parts Store Studios in downtown GR. Big Friday night of high school football across Michigan. We got Michigan State and Nebraska Saturday night. Spartans on the DraftKings Sportsbook board now a 5-point favorite. Michigan a 20-point favorite against Rutgers. Lions at 9.5 against Baltimore. Tommy Rosenbach, managing partner at Bean Garter, one of America's top accounting and business firms. He's standing by. They put up the money in the Beat Huge contest. You have until noon on Sundays to play every week through the big game at thehugeshow.net. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing well, Bill. You got a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah, I do. It's a busy weekend, man. How many people beat me last week in week 2 of the Beat Huge contest?
You went 7-8 after going 6-9 last week. Not bad. Still only 51 people beat you. We had a nice pickup. Probably the entrance, probably another 25%. You were just shy of 250 people that came in this week, so pretty good turnout. So
that's cool. And people can play until Sundays at thehugeshow.net. The Thursday night game is always a freebie.
Yeah.
Are you ready to get my picks?
You did.
How did I do in the colleges?
You did very well. You went 8-3 again, 2 straight weeks, 8-3. So you're 16-6. I know, against the spread.
Against the spread on college picks.
Great picks last week. Yeah, you picked Kent State to, to keep it close with Iowa and Illinois and Maryland. So it's some good picks. What do you got now? What do you got for this week?
Wow, look at Tommy taking over the show. I'm just going to get a sandwich. No. It's the Tom Rosenbach Show on the Huge Radio Network. All right, here we go. I'll begin.
Yeah.
I know. I love you, Tom. You guys are awesome. Let's start with Notre Dame. You're Fighting Irish at Wisconsin. Yeah. I love ND plus 6.5 in this game. I do.
I do too. They do better when they're dogs. I'll certainly say that on the road.
I think they're going to win the game. Not only cover the 6.5, but I think Notre Dame will win. Here's another game. Texas Tech isn't that good this year. I think Texas is going to beat them by 30. Texas has given Texas Tech 9.5.
Okay.
Another game I love. LSU only given Mississippi State 2.5. So basically, that's a to-win bet. I know it's on the road in Starkville, Mississippi. LSU minus a 2.5.
Okay.
And here's another big one I like. Boise State given 9 on the road at Utah State. Take Boise State minus a 9.
Okay.
Central Michigan laying 11.5 at home in Mount Pleasant against Florida International. I think Central will win this game by 28. CMU minus 11.5.
Okay.
Another game I love. Missouri's only given Boston College a 1.5. I know it's in Boston, but Mizzou has a pretty good team. Take Missouri minus a 1.5.
Okay.
Toledo minus 5. I think they're going to have a bounce-back game after the letdown loss to Colorado State. Take Toledo minus 5 at Muncie, or in Muncie against Ball State.
All right.
Western has a tough game here, and I know they just beat Pitt. San Jose State is a good football team, but I'm going to take the Broncos minus 2.5 to win at home in Kalamazoo.
Okay. Go Broncos.
Well, there's a lot of games. I like a lot of games this week, man. Clemson minus 10 against North Carolina State. I think their offense will wake up. I think their defense could shut out North Carolina State. I like Clemson minus a 10.
Okay.
Michigan, speaking of shutouts, I think they'll shut out Rutgers. They're giving the Scarlet Knights 20.5 at the Big House tomorrow. I like Michigan minus a 20.5.
Okay, so do I.
Gosh, Arkansas is getting 5.5 at home against Texas A&M. I'm telling you, this Saturday in college football, there are so many games I love. Take Arkansas at home plus 5.5.
Yeah, I do too. I hope they win.
On the flip side, Iowa's giving Colorado State 22.5. I think Iowa will win this game 40-0. Take Iowa minus a 22.5.
Okay.
Kent State, and I've been following this team, and from last year, they have a great offense. They're at Maryland getting 14.5. Maryland barely got by Illinois. Take Kent State, not to win, but take 14.5.
Okay. 2 weeks in a row. I like it.
There's a lot of Louisville only giving Florida State a 1.5. I like Louisville.
I do too.
I really do. That's on the road, but Florida State isn't the same team. UCLA giving Stanford.
Did you finish of that game?
What?
Did you see the finish of that Louisville game last week?
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. The pick six when they had turned it over is crazy.
Yeah.
Stanford getting points at home against UCLA. UCLA doesn't play any defense. Take Stanford plus the 5.
Okay.
And then our final game will be Michigan State laying 5 against Nebraska. A lot of people love Nebraska. I like Michigan State to win that game by double digits. Take the Spartans minus 5.
Okay.
You got that?
I got them all.
Like my picks?
I love your
all right.
picks.
And the Lions, I made my pick at the hugeshow.net. Be Huge contest. Everybody can play until Sunday at noon. With the COVID hitting their defensive line, Ravens now reportedly 4 guys out for Sunday at Detroit. That spread has gone down from 9.5 to 8 during my show. And they rarely take NFL games off the board. And so it's Lions plus 8. I'm taking the Lions.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, brother.
You got it?
All
right, Tommy, we love you. We love Bean Garter, one of America's top accounting firms based in downtown Grand Rapids. Services the entire state, coast to coast. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the ND game.
All right, Bill. Thanks.
All right. Tom Rosenbach, managing partner at Bean Garter. If you want to get in on that $1,000, get your picks in by Sunday at noon at thehugeshow.net. You can play every week for free. It's a weekly contest. More weeks you beat me, more chances you'll have to win. Play Beat Huge every Sunday through the big game in February at thehugeshow.net. You have to get your picks in by noon.